Nottingham Forest versus West Ham United in the Premier League. 2 p.m. kickoff on Sunday at the City Ground. We're here to discuss it. Ben, how are you doing?
I'm very good, mate. Yeah. All good. Hoping for an upturn in our fortune, so to speak.
Absolutely. Guys, if you're watching this, please don't forget to drop a like on the stream. It does help to get the stream out to places where it might not otherwise get. Really does help. And also just check that you're subscribed. If it says subscribed, fine, no problem. But if it says subscribe, it means you're not a subscriber. So just click that and that sorts that problem out. We've got about 60% of the viewers that have watched the channel in the last 28 days that are not subscribed. So if you can check that, if you're not subscribed, please do. And there is no charge for it. Just to be clear, I know it says subscribe. There's no charge. There's no fee. I know some people think of a subscription and attach a charge to it. It's completely free of charge, guys. We don't have your bank details. We don't have your personal details. So what's not to like? Okay, Ben. So let's get straight into it. So Nottingham Forest started the Premier League season with a 3-1 win at the City Ground over Brentford. They then followed it up with an away point against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Conversely, we obviously have had the 2 games in the Premier League where we've gone away to Sunderland, 3-0 defeat, and then obviously the 5-1 capitulation against Chelsea at the London Stadium. Let's concentrate on Forest to begin with, though. What are your thoughts on them as a team, the management structure? Give us your thoughts on the club.
Yeah, I mean, look, they had a really good season last season. They've had a good start this season. Obviously, they're unbeaten. They've had a win at home and then a draw away at Palace. So that's a good start. You know what I mean? We'd fucking snap your hands off for that start. Obviously, there's a little bit of rumours of different things with the manager, but I think you know they had a decent side last season. I think they've bought quite a lot of good players from what I can gather. So yeah, mate, I think they've done well, and it's going to be a very tough game for us because you know we're looking lacking all over the pitch.
We are, and we'll have a little discussion about that. But before I do, I'll just point out to the viewers: just keep an eye on the ticker at the bottom. It will change intermittently with various bits of information, such as the match officials for the game on Sunday. So, as we record this, and we're recording this, it's 12:58 on Friday the 29th. It was announced a little bit earlier, Ben, that we've made a signing at last of Mateus Fernandes from Southampton. It's all been officially announced on the official club website. I have heard through sources that the signing of Soungoutou Magassa has apparently been done, so I'm told. It's just that the media stuff hasn't been released and all the rest of it. Now, obviously, that's a bit of good news. We'll have a little discussion about what that might mean for the composition of the team going forwards. But yeah, it's good news. I think it's fair to say. What are your thoughts?
It is good news, Rob. Like, it is good news, but I don't know, mate. It's hard to feel really positive about it. I don't know about you. Like, I just feel like because of the start we've had, because you've made a signing, but you're thinking, why didn't we do this 6 weeks ago? Like, do you know what I mean? Because now we're starting from a point where we're bottom of the league, and if I'm honest, Rob, these lads might be good players, but do you know, I think we're like they're young lads. Like, I think we're lacking leadership. Like, I think we're lacking. Yeah, it's not just the ability on the pitch that I think we're lacking. Do you know what I mean? And so I just feel like maybe some of the issues we've got, I'm just not sure these signings might solve a bit of a problem, but I just feel like there's a lot of areas that we're lacking.
I agree. Yes, I mean I've been saying it. We need an old school, proper defender that likes fundamentally to defend, not really interested in sort of like being the next Rio Ferdinand or that type of player. You know, great defender though he was, but you know, I'm wanting more like a Craig Dawson or you know, an Alvin Martin, that type of player. Just no frills, just head it and kick it as far away from the goal as possible. That will do me.
Yeah. I mean, look, those kind of players seem to be few and far between. Like a Harry Maguire.
Yes.
He's kind of halfway there, but would cost a fortune. Like I say,
Lewis
I
Dunk would
just
be
feel,
one I'd go for.
yeah. I
I
think
know he
look,
wouldn't, but
I think we've just lost in the space of like a year. Yeah, maybe they were past their best, maybe they were old, but we've lost Ogbonna, we've lost Dawson, we've lost Cresswell, we've lost Zuma, we've lost, we've
Kufal.
lost, well, Rice has gone, Mark
Yeah.
Noble's retired, Kufal, like all players that they might not be the most technical players in the world, but actually, if you was going into battle, you'd look around and they've got a bit about them that that they'll put up a fight. Don't get me wrong. When they was in the side, we got pummeled every now and then, but they had a bit of character. I look at our team. I look at our team. I think we lack a bit of character, and we lack a bit of likability. Like, do you know what I mean? I just don't like any of our players. No, that's a bit harsh, but
Especially when they've shipped 11 goals in 3 matches.
yeah, I just think defensively. Defensively, you look at like I mean, we're old school. Like you look at old school centre halves, like a Terry Butcher, a Tony Adams. Hard fuckers that you'd go, Carl, you won't want to mess with him. Our fucking centre halves, they're fucking nigh for good. Like, what's he gonna do? Like, do you know what I mean? So I just feel like, and for me, and you are as well. Always passionate about the academy and fucking Potter making all the right noises in pre-season. And what's he done? He's fucking ain't started any of them. We've played in the Carabao Cup. None of the academy lads have even come off the bench.
No.
So it's all like, even when you're getting beat, at least if there's a few of the young lads coming through, there's something to grasp on, a bit of positivity. But at the minute, there's not. Hopefully, this lad coming in can be a catalyst for change, and he can deliver the goods and boost everyone around him.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm just going to give a little bit of squad news out. As far as Nottingham Forest are concerned, they have... I've just lost it here. I had it a moment ago. They have got one player that is ruled out, Nicolás Domínguez. He is out with a knee injury, and we've got Luis Guilherme out with a broken collarbone and Crescencio Summerville. Apparently, he's on the comeback trail and he may be available for the Spurs game, but it looks like the Forest game is going to come a little bit too soon. Other than that, it would appear that Graham Potter has available for the game on Sunday a full squad. So from the Forest angle, who do you think is the player that we need to do a number on in order to maximise our chances of success? Or at least not get pummeled?
Oh, I mean, they're fairly strong across the board. Like, I think, is it Milinkovic? Dominant centre half. Someone, I think we was linked with him a few years ago.
We was. I think that was before we got Zuma.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So yeah, he looks a bit of a towering presence. I think is it Elliot Anderson in central midfield. He looks a good young talent, like good energy about him. And I watched him a little bit in the under-21 championships. He looked really good. And then obviously up front, Chris Wood. He's one of them players. If we'd have bought Chris Wood, most of our fan base would have turned their nose up because he's not like a glamorous, all action striker. But look at his goal scoring record. He's a really good player. So look, they've got a good team. They might not have like superstar individuals, but they seem like they're a good team. And those three down the spine are good players.
Absolutely. So from a West Ham angle, Ben, who's the player that you think needs to be tip top again to maximise our chances of even getting a point, which I don't think would be a horrendous result. Obviously, I think we need 3 more pressing. But I think so long as we go away and get something from the match, and if we put in a sort of positive performance, for me, that's a good thing. But who's the player that you think we need to show up?
Rob, I can't pinpoint one individual. What I will say is the back 3, 5, whatever you want to call it, and the goalie, we need a performance out of them. Whoever that goalie is. And do you know what? I'm not being smart after the event, yeah? But look, Areola hasn't been great, yeah? But I don't think he's been shocking, like overall in his West Ham career, yeah? Now, when Fabianski went, I'm thinking, look, I'm thinking, obviously, we could have gone and got someone, bit of a reserve goalie, and say to Areola, you're our number one, mate. Like, you boost his confidence, you're our number one. We actually done the exact opposite. We bought someone for 20 odd million, and then they'd only been in the door fucking 2 or 3 days and bombed Areola. And then, and let's be honest, I know it's only 2 performances, and the feedback on Twitter, Hermansen's a great goalie. Mate, I'm telling you, I feel like I'm struggling to see how this lad's going to work out. I know I don't want to, cross him out after 2 games. But from what I see in those 2 games, I just can't see. He looks like a fucking midget. And when crosses are coming into the box, when you concede 3 goals from corners, when you see 3 goals from corners, that the balls were put in all in the 6-yard box. Now, in my mind, if the ball's in the 6-yard box and it goes in, that's on the goalie.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He can come out, use his hands. So, yeah, I just think it'll be interesting who he picks in goal, number one.
Do you think, just on that, Ben, before you sort of expand on that, do you think Areola, on the back of the performance against Wolves in the Cup, do you think he did enough to make a claim to say to Graham Potter, you cannot drop me?
No. I wouldn't say he put a stake in the ground and said, you cannot drop me. But I don't think he was as bad as Hermansen's been in the first 2 games. So I think it's probably a case of, this is not Areola saying, oh, how great did I play? It's just he played marginally better than Hermansen, in my opinion. So I would be inclined to go put Areola in goal. Yeah. So I just feel like, Rob, we need a big performance from the defence, i.e. a clean sheet. Yeah, it's very simple. We are not going to get anywhere in the league if we're conceding 4 goals a game on average, because that's what we've done. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
It's just totally not sustainable. And all the while, and again, this is not being smart after the event, right? All the while, everyone, like, all you hear is us being linked, oh, we got problems in midfield. I think we've got bigger problems at the back than we have in midfield. Or we've got enough bodies in midfield, or we had enough bodies in midfield that we can put together a half decent midfield. Like, I know he's just gone, but between Alvarez, Rodriguez, Ward-Prowse, Souček, Paqueta, Freddie Potts, surely you can put half decent midfield together with those 6 players. Yeah, I'm looking at. I know you can pull a face, but I'm looking at our centre halves and thinking Mavropanos, Kilman, Tadibo, and a Gerd. That's fucking worse. And I'm thinking, hold on, we didn't think a Gerd was good enough last season. We thought he was shit, so we farmed him out on loan, thinking, oh, blah blah blah, we might get a few quid from him. And then we brought him back, and now he's starting.
Great, isn't it? And apparently he's causing problems behind the scenes, so the story goes. that allegedly, supposedly, he's apparently talking the club down to prospective new signings. That's the rumor. I don't know if there's any substance in that, but
to be
whatever.
honest, Rob, to be honest, Rob, from his point of view, can you blame him?
No,
like in respect,
not.
like, you know, if he's coming to a new country, it hasn't worked out. We've shipped him out on loan, then brought him back. If he's got a mate out in France and they're going, "What do you think of West Ham?" He's going to go, well, actually, I'm not having a particularly good time here.
Wouldn't if I were you, mate?
Yeah. We're bottom of the league. You know, they find me out on loan, but actually, it's a real good laugh.
Yeah, you'll love the training ground. Just don't worry about the porter cabins.
Yeah. So look, it's a tough. It's tough to come up here and talk because it's difficult to be positive, and you don't want to just be negative. But we've got to see some shreds of positivity on the pitch to then talk positively on these streams.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen. I mean, what? You can go, well, Paqueta. I mean, I'm not a huge Paqueta fan, but actually, you'd have to say he's probably shown up a little bit this season.
Yep.
He's banged in a worldie against Chelsea. He scored during the week, so actually, he is contributing probably more than anyone else.
Yeah. Absolutely. So next thing we're going to dive into, and guys that are watching this, please get your comments in as we go along to all of the questions that I'm giving to Ben. What would be your starting 11? You've already said that you would put Areola in goal. So now, would you go with the formation that Graham Potter has adopted of 3 centre-backs, or would you change things up? And what would be your personnel?
See,
it's difficult, isn't it?
I feel like most teams only play 3 centre halves if the 2 centre halves ain't good enough and you need an extra body in there. Yeah. Now, just going back, I don't want to keep going back, right? A Gerd, I'm telling you now, Aaron Cresswell in a back 3, I think is better than Naya for Gerd in a back 3. I would have kept Cresswell left-sided centre half.
Never let us down there.
Never let us down. Anyway, he's gone. We move on, right? I feel like I would go for the back 4. I would go for the back 4 just because the shape of the team hasn't looked right. It's like we've been having, when you've got the 3 centre halves, it feel like one of them will end up strolling up the pitch, and then because they feel like, well, there's 2 there, so I can go on this run, and then the sort of positioning of the players is all over the place. I'd rather the centre half say, do you know what, lads? Let's do our fucking job and defend and stay in the middle of the pitch and don't go above the halfway line. Yeah. So I would go Areola in goal. I probably would go with this El Hadj Diouf left back. But that's the thing, Rob. We've bought him. Is he used to playing left back? Because I feel like this is the thing. We've bought this lad, and I feel like Potter is buying players to suit this system that doesn't fucking suit us. And actually, mate, look, I haven't seen too much from him. I'd be inclined to go Ollie Scholes left back, mate, because at least with Ollie Scholes, I have seen him play left back, and we played Arsenal away last year, and I remember the stats he got. He got it was the most tackles anyone one of our players had played in a long time.
Yeah. So
look, defensively we've been shocking. El Hadj Diouf, or whatever his name is, Malik Diouf, he's been part of that. So he's going. We're going to a back 4. We're going Scholes. Mate, I might even go fucking mad. I'm going to go with a mad.
It's your team. Right. Do it.
I'm going to go Scholes left back.
Yep.
I'm going to go. I mean,
this is the difficult bit, isn't it? Mate, which centre back are you picking?
Mate, the centre halves. It's like picking. And not that I want to be like Mob. It's like picking who do you want to babysit your kids? Fucking Rolf Harris or fucking Jimmy Savile? Like, do you know what I mean?
That'll get a reaction, I hope.
I'm going to go Ollie Scholes.
We're going to get some comments here.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go Jean-Claire Todibo.
Yep.
Right. And I'm going to throw a curveball in here. I'm going to put Aaron Wan-Bissaka centre half, because that's how bad I think our centre halves are. I feel like Wan-Bissaka, there's a chance he's probably never played there, but I actually feel like he'll probably do a better job than the defenders that are playing. Okay. And I'm going to go Kyle Walker-Peters right back, because I actually think he's a good player. So I know it's probably a little bit out there. It's probably never going to happen.
No.
And then I think in midfield, I want to see Freddie Potts play. I think he played well in pre-season. I think he played as good as anyone, better than most when he come on against Chelsea. I think he didn't put a foot wrong. I'm going to go Freddie Potts, Thomas Souček, and fuck it. I'll probably go Ward-Prowse, because on the basis Fernandes, he's only just come into the building. So they're the three. Look, Ward-Prowse, he has his limitations, but I do think he always gives his best, and that's what I want. And Souček will always nick a goal and give his best. And then the three up front, I'm going to go Füllkrug up top, get Bowen back out wide, right? His best position, and I'll put Paqueta in a bit of a free role on the left-hand side. So, that is, it's the old saying from Brian Clough, isn't it? On paper, that ain't a bad side. It's not a bad side. But unfortunately, Rob, in the Premier League, being not bad ain't good enough. Do you know what I mean? Because everyone else is better than not bad, even the fucking teams near the bottom. And we see that with Wolves. They rested a few players, and when them players come on, we couldn't cope with them.
No. Just on that, what did you make when we went 2-1 up? And I know we're talking about the Forest game, but just bear with me. Let's just quickly go off on a tangent. What did you make when we went 2-1 up and you clearly saw Andy Irving, who is rumoured to be moving on in this transfer window, that was getting warmed up, getting ready to come on as a sub? He never came on as a sub. What did you make of that as far as the messaging was concerned? We've got a player on the pitch, as well as that, we've got a player on the pitch who we're also looking to sell in Rodriguez. We've got a player on the bench that he's looking to bring on in Irving that he didn't. You've got Potts sitting there scratching his nuts, thinking, well, what the bloody hell's going on here? Because these two are clearly ahead of me in the pecking order. What sort of messaging do you think that gives to Freddie Potts? What did you make of it all?
Baffling, mate. Like I say, I've actually been a fan of Potter. How can I put this? I haven't really been a fan of Potter since he's been at West Ham, because the reality is he's been the worst manager we've ever had. I think statistically,
Avram Grant is slightly worse.
Right?
Per match.
Okay, but
it's not high bar.
No, I mean, look, he didn't do a good job at Chelsea. But in tough circumstances, I feel like he done a good job at Brighton, and I like the way his team's played. But actually, mate, like I say, especially this season, the team sheets have been a little bit baffling and frustrating. That, like you say, these players, Guido Rodriguez, look, he actually, against like Sunderland, he tried. Like, do you know what I mean? There was parts. I see him tracking back and putting in tackles. He was working hard, but the reality is he shouldn't be starting for us. He's not done. He's been pretty woeful as a signing, and he shouldn't be starting. Like I say, just like the formations, the personnel. Bowen keep playing up front, not in his best position. It's just, and then, like I say, the subs, warming a player up, then we score, then he doesn't put him on. Like you say, Andy Irving, the fact that Rodriguez is starting is bad enough. But then when you get in a sub, you've got young lads on the bench, you've got Marshall on the bench, you've got Potts on the bench, you've got Scarles on the bench. We're crying out, give us something to cheer about. We're not playing well. Give us one of the young lads to get a run out, and you go bring Andy Irving on.
And then doesn't even bother.
And then doesn't bother. It's like Potter. He hates us. It's like he doesn't want us to be happy.
He wants to be sacked.
What have we done to you? Like,
fair enough. Well, I'll give you my starting 11, and again, for any new viewers, this is not what we think Potter will pick. This is if we was in the dugout, if we was picking it, what we would pick. Ben's given his, I'll give mine. Now, I would pick Hermansen. I think I would do it a little bit sort of tentatively, but I wouldn't sort of be terribly happy about it. But I don't think that Areola did enough in my book, as you said earlier, to put a stake in the ground to say, I need to start, you know. But what I would say is I'm a big believer in the old adage, once is a shame, twice is a coincidence, three times is a trend. And I think if he has a third game where he puts one in the back of the net, he's got to go. He has got to go. Hermansen, he cannot be in between the sticks for the game the other side of the international break. So Hermansen would go in, but it would be like you are literally drinking at the last chance saloon, mate. This could be your West Ham career going up in smoke in 3 fucking games. Typical West Ham. Anyway, so I would put Hermansen in, but that
Can I just say one thing, Rob?
Go for it.
Say one thing, right? So we're losing 3-0 against Chelsea, right? I have to say, I sound like an old dinosaur. There's a lot about modern football I don't fucking like.
Me too.
Right? We're losing 3-0. Hermansen's got the ball at his feet. He's waiting for the Chelsea players to come towards him for about 5 seconds. I'm thinking, does this prick know that we're losing 3-0? What he wants to do,
baffling.
But what he wants to do, a Chelsea player comes to him, pass it to the centre half. The centre half knocks it about, passes to him, then pass it back to Hermansen, and then he'll boot it up to fucking Fulkrug. It's like, why didn't you just fucking do that in the first place?
Yep, does my head in, mate. Does my head in. So anyway, I would go Hermansen, and I would change shape. I would play a 4-3-3. So left back, I've a lot of people said a lot of good things about Magic Diouf in pre-season, about his delivery, his early crossing of the ball, its accuracy, and all the rest of it. But the thing that sort of like struck me was, well, that's a pre-season game. You are by default going to get more time and space to, you know, deliver a better quality cross, blah, blah, blah. I've not seen it in the Premier League and in the game on Wednesday. Now, I know you could turn around and say, well, he's not getting fed the ball quickly enough. And there is that. I'll give him a little bit of credit there. But I remain to be convinced by Magic Diouf. I really do. But having said that, I think I would also let him play this game as a left back.
Yeah.
But again, I think it would be, you need to show me something here. You need to show me that you're worth the price tag, because, you know, let's not forget, we've actually got 2 left backs still at the club. I expect one of them to go, and that's Emerson. You know, Emerson and also Maxwell Cornet appear to have disappeared into thin air, and we seem to have forgotten that we're employing them, but we are.
I'll be honest with you, I don't think Emerson stunk the place out last season.
No.
Mate, he's come from being our first choice left back to not even being in the squad. And like you say, we're not even talking about him. It's just like he's resigned.
I think he's fallen out with Potter, mate. I think there's been something going on behind the scenes, and I think that it'll be that he's not a West Ham player for too much longer. And there's probably the same thing with Cornet, truth be told. But I would go Diouf at left back. I would go Walker Peters at right back, because I actually think he had a decent game against Wolves. Nothing earth shattering, decent.
Got an assist.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka's the one, because again, I'm tempted to do a little bit like you and play him as a right centre back. But the problem is I don't think he had a great game against Chelsea either.
Yes. That, I think you're being kind. I think he was fucking absolutely shocking.
He was.
But
Poor.
He was poor. Yeah, he was. Shocking's maybe a bit harsh. A lot of the goals seem to. The thing is, a lot of the goals, yeah, people were like, "Oh, Wan-Bissaka's there," but they was in the middle of the goal. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's like he's coming across, but where's the? You've got 3 centre backs. Surely one of them should have been there as well. Like, do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
He, defensively, he hasn't been top of his game. I admit.
Yeah, I think I would play Mavropanos as one of the centre backs. I'm a little bit torn. Do I put Wan-Bissaka like you've done, or do I go Todibo? Kilman for me just looks just like shot to pieces. His confidence is just dwindling by the match, it seems to me. I think I would probably go Mavropanos, and I think I'd go Todibo, to be honest. I think I'd drop Wan-Bissaka out, truthfully. I don't think he could look at his performance against Chelsea and be sort of like upset too much, because it's like, fundamentally, mate, your performance wasn't up to scratch. So that's that.
I mean, look.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, go on, mate. I actually, that it's one of them. You could flip a coin, and it's a difficult one who's going to start centre half, because, like I say, none of them have really shown much. But like I say, Mavropanos, Mavropanos wasn't stinking, and there was actually some reasonable things he done against Wolves from memory. So maybe he's kind of played himself into contention.
Yeah. A little bit disappointed with him in the third goal, though, the winner. But okay. Moving into midfield, defensive mid, I would play Freddie Potts. I don't think that's going to happen, but I would play Freddie Potts. Then we move forwards. I would play. Do you know what? I'm thinking about this. I would play Fernandes, because, as I say, he definitely can play. I would play Fernandes, and I would put in central midfield. Now, this is the thing. I'm a little bit torn between putting Paqueta as central midfield or putting him as a left of the front 3. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be a little bit off the wall, and I'm going to be a bit bold. Okay, bear with me. I'm going to put Lucas Paqueta in central mid with Fernandes, right? And my front 3 is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to have Bowen on the right. I'm going to have Ollie Scholes on the left.
Okay.
I'm going to push him up a little bit, use his pace. I might even swap it, thinking about it, actually. I might go Scholes left back and Diouf as the left of the 3.
Yeah. I think that might be more effective.
I think that might be a better way of doing it. So, okay, slight reevaluation. Scholes at left back, Diouf as the left of the front 3. And you know what? There's a little part of me, a mischievous part of me. My head says play Fulkrug as the 9. But I've just got this mischievous streak in me. I'd like to play Souček there. I'd like to play him as a box crasher.
Mate, I had a feeling you might say that. I mean, look, right? There's been parts of his. I think Souček has to start. Like, for me, I just think, yes, again, he has his limitations, but mate, right? He scores goals and he works hard and he puts himself about. He wins headers and he puts in tackles. Yeah. Every time, this is under different managers. Every time we've tried to be a bit clever, a bit more technical, and go, oh, we want to keep the ball. We want to, more possession-based midfield. Every time we've tried to drop Souček, we get beat because, the stats show when he don't start, I think we win 10% of our games. And when we does start, we win like 45 or something like that. Yeah. So I think if you're going with that midfield, Rob, yes, I think a lot of the fans might think Potter's lost the plot, but he scores goals from midfield. So why couldn't he score goals if he was a bit further forward?
Yeah. Put it this way, you'd be able to mix it up. I mean, I'm the same as you. I get the right ump when you've got a goalkeeper playing a pass 6 feet to his right to a centre back, who then plays it back to the goalkeeper, who then plays it back to the centre back, and I'm just like, sorry, what? There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with the goalkeeper going long to your number 9, and if this is Thomas Soucek, he could win the aerials with ease. Pop it off to the wide players, get wide, get the midfielders sort of like flooding the penalty box, make something happen.
I mean, look, Rob, obviously it's your call, Rob. I think, look, Fulkrug was looking lively in pre-season, and even, you know, he has been lively-ish in the games. Yeah, obviously he was putting himself about. He scored one against Chelsea that was offside. Do you know what I mean? So I think he is a goal threat, and we need our goal threats on the pitch, and that's why I'm thinking Fulkrug, Soucek, Paqueta, Bowen. You know, there is a goal threat there. A few of them have scored this season, and then you kind of build it around it. And actually, what was telling for me, I actually think Fulkrug is a leader.
Agreed.
So I do want to see him on the pitch. It was telling for me when they went to the huddle on Sky on the TV against Chelsea. It wasn't Bowen doing the talking. Fulkrug was in there going, no. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking, I think he brings a bit of that leadership. Look, he's a German international, so I do want to see Fulkrug start. So I'd like to see him start with Soucek and with a Bowen and Paqueta buzzing around them.
Fair. What are your thoughts on the score? Dare I ask?
Do you know what, Rob? No matter what, I'm not. No matter how bad we are, I can't. My heart won't let me say, "Oh, we're going to lose 2-1." I just feel like I can't fucking do it, right? So I'm going to say it's a 1-1 draw, and it's probably, we might stink the place out. It might not be a particularly good, but I'd probably prefer that. You know what I mean? I prefer to just get a point on the board. At least there's something to build on. Do you know what I mean? I just love. I'd love a clean sheet, but I'm not sure we're going to get one.
Do you want to hear a worrying stat that I haven't fact checked this, but I read a worrying stat as far as clean sheets are concerned? Because if my goalkeeper plays instead of your goalkeeper, apparently he's got the lowest clean sheet percentage of a Premier League goalkeeper that's played at least 20 matches.
Who? What? This Hermansen geezer?
Yes. And I've not fact checked it. It was something I saw, and it could be some load of old bollocks that's out there on the internet. But he played in a Leicester team last season that was shipping goals for fun, and now he's come in here, and in his first 2 games, he's conceded 8 goals. So I could actually look at it and go, there might be something in this.
It would have been nice if our recruitment team would have fucking looked at that stat before we did it. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what? I'll tell you what, lads. He ain't half good with his feet. Oh, fucking. Yeah, but actually, have you seen how many goals the cunt's conceded? No one's ever conceded more. Oh, yeah, but he's got a lovely left foot. He can just clip it down the wing.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's like, I didn't want fucking Dimitri Payet in goal.
Exactly, yeah. I'll tell you what, he's so good with his feet. Let's play him left wing.
It's great, isn't it? Brilliant.
But anyway, I made. I'm going to go 1-1 draw, and mate, I said I was out on this networking dinner last night. Right? I know we're going off on a tangent. I'd obviously had a few, and there was a few too many Spurs fans there. I just said, look, I'll fuck it. They was all giving it the big one. We've won 2, top of the league. You're bottom. I was like, all right, let's have a bet. We're going to finish above you in the league.
Oh no, you didn't, did you?
Well,
how much?
We did finish above them last season, didn't we?
We did.
So look, the track record says we're, so I've said, look, if we finish above, I said, if they finish above us, I've got to take all the Spurs fans out for dinner.
Oh no!
So we need.
Have you agreed on where you're taking them? McDonald's.
So we need a point at least to get me off and running for my bet. Yeah. So I'll take a 1-1 draw with maybe full crew getting off and running for the season.
Yeah, I don't see us keeping a clean sheet, whether it's Areola or Hermansen in goal, regrettably. But I'm just wondering whether the signing of Fernandes, and like I say, I'm told that the Magassa deal is done. It's just not been announced, which if the paperwork's all been done and sent to the Premier League before 12 noon today, that means he will be able to be in the squad. Maybe starting him might be a little bit too soon. I would start Fernandes. He has been playing in the Championship for Southampton, so he's ready to go. But I just think we're going to have a little bit more fight about us. I'm saying this crossing fingers. I know we haven't shown it so far, but I'm just hoping that going out of the cup, Bowen's confrontation with the fan, now the signings look like they're starting too late, I would suggest by half, but they're happening at least. I don't know. I think that possibly we might be able to muster a little bit of fight, courage, determination, and a 2-2 draw for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's so early in the season, Rob, but you've got to feel like this is a real big game for Potter. We've lost 2 in the league. We've scored 1 goal in the league. We've just gone out of the cup, and it's not right. If you was putting up a fight, then you might say, well, look, the players are playing for him or whatever. But the fact is, we've been pumped by a newly promoted team that wanted it more than us. We've then been beaten 5-1 at home by a London rival.
No yellow cards either.
Yeah, that's it, mate. With a bit of a whimper, and then we've gone out of the cup. So it's like he really needs to up his game. But like I say, I mean, from the start of the season, from game 1, you looked at the team sheet and all the excitement for the season. I looked at the team sheet and thought, this fucking wanker, what is he doing?
Well, I made the journey and I looked at the team sheet and went, sorry, what?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, so look, he needs to liven his act up, as do the players. And look, you're hopeful if we've got Fernandes in, which we have, if there's another one coming in, that might boost the dressing room a little bit, and we can get off and running for the season. So look, both of us would be happy with a draw, considering what we've seen so far.
Absolutely. Any final thoughts before we knock it on the head, bruv?
Not really, mate. Just what I just said just now. Big game for Potter, big game for everyone, and we need someone to step up and show some leadership, and a few of the senior players to try and carry us through. So I've got my fingers crossed because I think we're going to need it, unfortunately.
Absolutely. There you go. Well, Ben, thanks for joining us. And for you guys who are watching, thanks for joining us as well. Don't forget to drop a like on the stream. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. As I say, if the last 28 days, 60% of the people that's viewed our content are not subscribed to the channel. So we need to try and turn that around, please. If you can make sure you click subscribe. It doesn't cost you a copper coin. It takes but a click of your mouse. A click of your mouse. And no mice were harmed in the making of this particular podcast. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Come on, you Irons. West Ham are massive, everywhere we go. West Ham